A brief history of modern India for political risk analysts. India in World War I. At the outbreak of World War I, India was part of the British Empire. Over 1.3 million Indian soldiers served overseas, fighting in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. India's contribution was pivotal in both manpower and resources. However, the war also intensified Indian demands for self-governance. The promise of constitutional reforms by the British after the war gave rise to new political expectations. Rise of Indian nationalism. The post-war period was marked by increasing unrest. The Bagh massacre in 1919, where British troops killed hundreds of peaceful protesters in Amritsar, was a turning point. It fueled widespread anger and helped Gandhi gain national prominence. Gandhi launched several nonviolent resistance movements, including non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, and the Quit India movement from 1942. These movements mobilized millions against British rule, while the Indian National Congress, or the INC, emerged as the central force in the independence struggle. Meanwhile, the Muslim League under Muhammad Ali Jinnah began advocating for the interests of Muslims, eventually demanding a separate nation. World War II and the road to independence. India was again drawn into World War II by the British without consulting Indian leaders. This led to the Quit India movement in 1942, where the INC demanded an immediate end to British rule. The British imprisoned many leaders, including Gandhi. Post-war, weakened by conflict and facing rising demands for independence, the British agreed to transfer power. Religious tensions between Hindus and Muslims escalated, leading to the partition of British India. On August 15, 1947, India gained independence, but at a cost. The subcontinent was divided into two nations, India and Pakistan. Partition caused one of the largest mass migrations in history, accompanied by horrific communal violence and the deaths of hundreds of thousands. The Nehru era and nation building from 1947 to 1964. Nehru became India's first prime minister. His government prioritized secularism and democracy, industrialization under a mixed economy model, land reforms, and social justice. India adopted a new constitution in 1950, becoming a sovereign democratic republic. Despite economic challenges and food shortages, India maintained democratic continuity, unlike many post-colonial states. Nehru also championed the non-aligned movement, steering India away from Cold War alliances. However, relations with China soured, leading to the Sino-Indian War in 1962, which India lost. Indira Gandhi and the Emergency, 1966 to 1984. Indira Gandhi, Nehru's daughter, became Prime Minister in 1966. Her tenure was marked by significant events. The Green Revolution, which boosted food production and made India self-sufficient. The 1971 Indo-Pakistan War led to the creation of Bangladesh. The Emergency from 1975 to 1977, in response to political unrest and a court ruling against her, Indira suspended civil liberties and jailed opposition leaders. Though she returned to power in 1980, her later years were marked by rising Sikh separatism. In 1984, she ordered Operation Blue Star to flush militants out of the Golden Temple. Later that year, she was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards, triggering anti-Sikh riots. Political realignment and economic crisis from 1984 to 1991. Rajiv Gandhi succeeded his mother, but was assassinated in 1991 during an election campaign. The late 1980s saw rise of regional and caste-based parties, growing religious tensions, notably over the Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi dispute. I cannot pronounce that. economic stagnation, and rising deficits. In 1991, India faced a balance of payments crisis. This led to landmark economic reforms under Prime Minister Rao and Finance Minister Singh. India liberalized its economy, reduced trade barriers, and welcomed foreign investment, marking the beginning of rapid economic growth. Coalition politics and rising Hindu nationalism from 1991 to 2014. The 1990s and early 2000s were characterized by coalition governments. The BJP emerged as a powerful political force promoting Hindu nationalism. Key events included the 1992 demolition of Babri Masjid, sparked nationwide riots, the 1998 nuclear test. India declared itself a nuclear state under PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I definitely did not pronounce that right. In 2002, the Gujarat riots, over 1,000 people, mostly Muslims, were killed. Then Chief Minister Narendra Modi faced scrutiny. Despite these challenges, India's economy grew, driven by the IT and service sectors. The United Progressive Alliance, or the UPA, led by the Congress Party, ruled from 2004 to 2014, during which time India witnessed strong growth but also faced corruption scandals and inflation. The Modi era and New India. In 2014, Modi led the BJP to a sweeping victory. His platform emphasized development, digital infrastructure, and nationalism. Key developments during Modi's tenure were demonetization in 2016, sudden invalidation of high-value currency notes to curb black money, Goods and Services Tax, or the GST, simplified India's tax structure. The abrogation of Article 370 in 2019 revoked Jammu and Kashmir's special status. Citizenship Amendment Act, or the CAA, and National Register of Citizens, the NRC, sparked nationwide protests over concerns about discrimination against Muslims. In 2024, Modi was re-elected for a third term, solidifying his political dominance despite growing concerns over press freedom, civil liberties, and minority rights. India in 2025 and beyond. By 2025, India is the world's most populous country, surpassing China, a leading economy ranking in the top 5 globally by GDP, advancing in technology, space exploration, ISRO, and digital innovation, playing a more assertive role in global geopolitics, including the Quad Alliance and strategic ties with the US, Japan, and Australia. Yet challenges remain. Unemployment and inequality, environmental degradation and water scarcity, tensions with China and Pakistan, and democratic backsliding and polarization. Conclusion: India's centuries-long journey from colonial subjugation to democratic republic and global player is unparalleled in scale and complexity. Despite setbacks, internal divisions, and external threats, India has managed to sustain democratic governance and economic growth, as it stands on the cusp of becoming a global superpower. The India of 2025 reflects both the aspirations and contradictions of its rich, turbulent, and dynamic history.